don't slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Go, let's go!
They'll run on first down. McKnight call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Murray throwing on second down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Returnable for Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Lamb. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
But I think the defensive guys are probably...
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. His 4th touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Murray on third down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Wilson. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
On first down, it's Martinez. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go. On second down now, it's Martinez, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On third down, Wilson. Being chased out left. Touchdown, Seahawks. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talking about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting,
rush coming, and he's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task. And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. On second down, McKnight. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as he'll stop him well short of the yellow line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A very good return there, given an even 20 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure on the passer.
It's caught. Lockett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner out there.
Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Second and goal from the 1.
He's not going to get me. Check.
To throw is Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 22 on the year, and folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22 and a half set in 2001. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Murray. Incomplete.
It's been my observation, there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now here's Michael Dixon standing just about on his own goal line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. A final shot before half from Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll run on first down. Martinez. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Martinez. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
I go 13. Strong left, strong left, strong left.
On first down, it's Martinez. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd down now, it's Martinez. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. This complete to Lockett. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Johnson on the counter. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, it's Martinez. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll keep it on the ground. McKnight. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Murray. Oh, now Murray has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And some space here. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Flushed out right. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Hassan Reddick picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, Dan, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what are you symptom?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Taron Johnson made the stop.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They'll keep it on the ground. Martinez. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Seahawks on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 18.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there in that scramble.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey. You got 3. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
And they will take a knee here. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did.